Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Alexander 2 Cloudy Conqueror. Okay. Today we are going to look at Empties accounting. This is a special accounting software for those who are running beverages, but have agents or distributors. Okay. Those distributors are the people who are actually selling it to individual customers because the job of the manufacturer is to simply produce and give it to the distributor who will finally distribute. Okay. Now, how are those distributors going to treat the empties which are brought by those house sales customers? What I mean by house sales customers, those are the people who go direct to the distributor with some empties to buy some soft drinks. Remember, if you don't have the empties, then it means that the distributor will charge you, or the distributor or the agent will charge you full invoice. But if you have the empties, you only need to give them the empties. As long as they're in good condition, then you'll be able to buy liquid, to pay for liquid only. That's way how it works. This applies only to returnable containers or glass, if you like it that way. So without wasting time, let's dive in and see what we are talking about. So I'll log in here. Okay. Admin manager. I'll push in my password there. Of course, I won't share it to you. Yeah. So I've got two branches, but I'll use the head office for simplicity purpose. Okay. I'm going to process my transaction in the Zambian kwacha, although you have all the options. As you can see, there are a couple of currencies which you can process your tax invoice, right? Then I'll press enter here. Okay. So my software is now running there to take me to the main page there. It has opened the main page there. Okay. So without wasting our time, what we'll do is, let's assume that a customer has brought 5 empties. Okay, let's say 10. Okay. But this customer says, okay, um, the 10 empties which are brought, I'll deposit them here in Chipata and buy, let's say 6 cases only, because we have a function here in Chipata where 6 cases are required. The other 4, I will take it to where the kitchen party is, which will be in Osaka, Mandevu area. So I will go and buy from Mandevu depot the remaining 4. Okay, what do you do? Okay, here is the customer. You are in Chipata, you are the empties controller. No issue. All what you do is you issue a coupon. A coupon is found under inventory under here. But if you are logging in as the empties controller, you will find in your profile there is an empty coupon there. You simply open that empty coupon. Okay. Then here you put the date when you have received the empties, which is today, 5th April. Okay. Now the name of this person, at least the name we should be able to write. Maybe is Mwanza. Okay. Mwanza or whatever it is. If he has a phone number, you can put the phone number. If there is no phone number, you can put not applicable. It's not everyone who may afford a phone. So you come here, you select what are the empties type. So you can see we have only one type, ZB empties there. Okay. All right. So we assume that that is the time when ZB and Coca-Cola were working together. Okay. Now, if they are separate now, you need to create empties for Coke alone, ZB alone. Those will mean for beer. The other one will mean for soft drinks, like that. But I didn't want to make the process complex, so I will select this. Okay. The moment I select that, it brings even the price in the empty 57 kwacha here. All right. So now what you do is before how many you count the empties there as an empties controller? How many are there? There are 10. So you enter all the 10. Okay? Yeah. Then now you save first the ticket. Once you have saved the ticket, you need to retrieve it here. I will explain why you need to retrieve it. Okay, why do you need to retrieve this ticket? It's simple. You want now the system to calculate one, the coupon code, and the returnable numbers. You can see they are still blank. So there is no way the cashier who is at your depot and the cashier who is in Lusaka Mandev will know which one. So in that case, all you need to do, you reselect this ZB empties. Then, as you can see, it has assigned the coupon ID. So our coupon ID is COPN5. Then, for accounting purpose, we have EMP4. Okay, these are unique numbers. They are not static. No, they will keep on increasing. Yeah, like that as people keep on buying. So for now, viewers, get this number COPN5, write it somewhere where we are going to the cashier, and the cashier who is in Mandevu, okay, will require that number. Although it's easy, there's no problem on that one. If you have forgotten, once you save here, don't forget to print the receipt. This receipt is what you give to the person or your customer who have bought the empties. As you can see, there's a small receipt here. 10 empties, the value is 570. Coupon balance 570. Okay, this is Zambian kwacha. Okay, so now all you need to do is you print this. Your job as empty controller, it ends here. You don't even care whatever happens there. Okay, that is none of your business. Okay, so now when the cashier sees this, okay, he will simply copy that number, COPN5. Then you'll be able to check and know how many empties are there. Okay, then now what we'll do is the final thing which the empties controller will do, once the empties are okay, the receipt is printed, you will simply come here and approve it. Okay, so you approve it like this. You see, it's approved, is complete. Okay, the receipt is given to the customer, or the invoice is given to the customer, who will move now from the empties bay to the cashier's office. The cashier's office, the cashier has no clue of what is happening, how many empties have come there. The only thing which the cashier is expecting from the customer is a receipt which I showed you there. Okay? As the empties bay, you close here. Your job is already done. So, the customer goes to the cashier. The cashier opens the POS here. Okay? Yeah. You see, the POS is open. So now, the cashier will ask you to say, where is your receipt or your coupon? The customer will present the coupon to the cashier. Then the cashier will copy the coupon number here. So now, the coupon number, remember I said it was COPN5. So you type in here COPN5. Okay, there it is. It comes automatically, okay, from the bay where it was keyed in, whether it was like in this case, it was done in Chipata. Okay, but we are able to see it, capture it here in Lusaka. So you simply select it here. Have you seen that it's showing you 10 empties which are there? That's the balance. You are able to know to say, okay, the balance of empties is how many? 10. All right? Okay, fine. So if that is the case, then we need to say, okay, fine, we have the empty balance of 10, but now what we need to do is we need to say, to ask the customer to say, okay, you have 10 balances, 10 empties there as a balance. How many do you want to buy here? Remember I said he is saying 6 is buying here in each part. The other 5, the other 4 will be bought here. Where? In Osaka, because that's where the other function is. The other 6 will remain in Chipata because there is a function there. Okay? Instead of you moving around with the empties all the way from Chipata to say, okay, here I'll leave 6, the other 4 I'll take it to Mandefu. You don't have to do that. Leave everything at a particular depot there. The system will record that for you. Then now, since you have confirmed 6 here, the cashier will simply say update. Okay? So your update is now complete. Now, what does it mean? So now it means that now those 6 the cashier will be able to sell you some liquidity based on the 6 which you have asked there. So the cashier will simply save the ticket here. Okay. Yeah. After saving that, then retrieve it here. Okay. Fine. Then now, we'll ask you to say, okay, these are ZB empties, okay, which you have brought. So you can buy Fanta, Coca-Cola, or whatever. Yeah. But since we are assuming that at that time these two companies were working together, let's assume that your interest is to buy softies. Then it means that you have Fanta there. How many cases? Let's say from there you want 2 Fanta. Okay, then the difference 4 will be Coca-Cola. So it will be like this, all right? So 4. So the 4 which you left there in Chipata are consumed. I will show you why. So here, they will tell you to say you're supposed to pay 768, okay? Now, here, we'll say 768, all right? And save, right? So now here we need to send it to ZRA. Remember now we are using faster codes in terms of process. You can see within seconds your transaction is processed. You don't have to wait. We don't want any queues anywhere. No. We want people to move on fast because we are now in the new technology. So here is your receipt for liquid. You can see, yeah, Coca-Cola, Fanta, everything there, properly signed there. Okay, if you want, you can even scan the QR code there. Yeah, so once you print that receipt, you give it to the customer there. Okay, that receipt for empties, you can give it back to the customer. So it has no meaning to you anymore. I'll tell you why it has no meaning. Now the customer comes with that empty receipt all the way from Chipata. Why? Because there is a balance of some empties which remained. According to him, he knows that there are 4. Okay? Yes? True. Remember, 6 were used in Chipata. Now we want to use the remaining 4. Where? In Lusaka, Mandevu Depot. Okay? So now, the cashier in Mandevu Depot asks for a coupon to say, okay, can I see your coupon? The coupon will show the number COPN5 here. Okay, have you seen that now it's showing also 4 empties there? All right. Now suppose this person decide to buy, instead of 4, you want to buy 6. It means that now the 4 will write it here. Okay. Okay. So we'll write 4 here. No. Suppose he write, yeah, you want to write to buy 4. Yeah, you can write 4 there. If it is 6, you write 6 here so that the other 2 will be bought at full invoice. But for the sake of this software, I want to show you what happens from there. So for there, I will say update. All right. All right, perfect. Now, how come here? We are now in Mandevu. The cashier in Mandevu has seen the 4. Okay, it's there. Then I'll come here and say, okay, fine. All right. So, okay, let's say Fanta this time around is 3. Okay. Then the other one, oh, sorry. I've made a mistake. Sorry. Pardon me. Okay. I didn't do the right thing. I'll go back there. Okay. And do this. I'll create a ticket again here. Or let's see. Is this ticket still there? All right. Create a ticket here. Save. I didn't save the ticket. Save the ticket here. All right. Then come back and retrieve the ticket. No issue. Okay. Yeah. So now I can go ahead and do my thing. So Fanta here we said okay, 3, right? Then Coke, I will say 1 to make it 4. 1, all right? Yeah. Then here I will say uh, 5, 12. Okay. Save. Then send that one, right? All right. There it's gone. You can see the receipt comes up. There it is. All right. Okay. Yeah. So now, this person has consumed all the empties. But how are we going to know that he has consumed all the empties? We still come back here and say, okay, COPN 5, this one. Have you seen what the message is saying? The customer empties account is depleted. Balance is 0. You can see it's even writing there, the balance is 0. Even the other side here is also showing here 0 here. So meaning you can see, read the message there. Please charge full invoice. That is empties plus liquid. If you still want to buy some more, you tell him to say, my friend, you need to pay now the value of the empties and the liquid which you are buying. As simple as that. All right? Yeah. So let's say if he's agreeing, you can go ahead and process the value of empties plus the liquid there. That's way how this thing works. You can see the empties were left in each pattern, but he's able to buy here in Lusaka. Or you can go and buy the other difference in Livingstone. Or if you have branches all over Lusaka, yeah, maybe Chawama, Kalingalinga, Livara, Kawata, like that. There's no issue. Now you can see the empties are crawling all the way from the empties bay to cashier's office, more or less like a triangle, but invisible without being interfered. That's it. That's the way how the system works. All right? That way there is no way you can have a loss. It's impossible. There is no way. And the cashier will have no problem, yeah, handling these coupons because it's easy. It's just on the same interface. The only thing which the cashier need to do is to be checking. That's all. It doesn't even require any science rocket there or any further training. There is literally none, completely none. That's the way how you do things, nothing else. Now, the other thing to remember is this thing, okay, when we do the interface, it looks simple. This is a very complicated thing which you cannot see anywhere in Zambia. It's very, very complex. It had taken us 4 days to study the process, read the books, accounting books as well, programming books as well, to come up with this. The whole idea is we had to make sure that both the empties controller and the cashier is not overburdened of too much data capturing. As you can see, the empties controllers only have about 3 fields to capture. The cashier has only just needed to simply check there and maybe simply capture one field there for the empty used. The rest remains normal. So this is not a simple thing. It's a very complex thing. It's meant for those people who are distributor of the beverages companies to make life easier for them. And also account those empties properly. Okay? And ensure that also what belongs to ZRI is properly accounted for. That is the way how this thing is. Okay, we have made the complex thing so easy for the users. We had to take our own time, much of our time, and also the hard work to ensure that this thing is actually put into reality. That's way how it is. So we can close here. Everything is okay. So now, the other thing is those empties which you have seen there, all right? You have seen those empties there, all right? So, if there is any balance, because it's in and out, remember we are zero, right? We don't have anything there. So, if I do this, okay? Yeah. As you can see there, the data sheet or dashboard shows you to say now the empties for ZB is 0. Why? Because they are used. There is the people were coming in with the two. Those you remember the guy left the empties in Chipata. Okay. Then now they are all used. There's literally nothing there. Okay. So that's why it's showing a 0. So if you have some empties which you are buying from, let's say you have okay, for easy illustration, let me do it this way. Mm, let's say we have received the 2,000 of um, empties from ZB. Okay, maybe like that. When today, maybe here we say reference like that. Then track number on who the okay, whatever track number is, maybe ADA, whatever the track number is. Okay. Then okay, here we check. These are empties only. We have received maybe 2,000. Now, those are the empties which we have received. Okay, they came with the liquid anyway. Yeah, we have accounted for liquid somewhere. Now we want to account for empties. So what we do, we simply say, okay, fine. Oh, sorry. We simply add here, then approve those. We have counted everything is okay. Approve those empties are approved. They are gone. So now I want to see what balance do I have there. Do I have the 0 balance on my data sheet or not? Okay, I'll come here. Of course, I'll show you something. So, so let's check here. You are seeing that I've seen now you have 2,000 there coming in. Have you seen that? It's 2,000 empties under that company coming in. Okay? Yeah. Perfect. So now, since we have 2,000 coming in, suppose we check it. What about, because I've seen there is also cover there. Is that 2,000 going to show under cover as well or not? It should not show because those were received at the head office. So cover has nothing to do with that. You see, it's completely empty. You can see the form is even bigger and it shows empty. So there is nothing for cover there. Those empties were received at head office, which is this one, headquarter. So headquarter. If I do that, the form now becomes smaller and it shows me what is there. Now let's send. Let's say the same truck when it went, In the afternoon, they rotate 1,500. How many are going to remain there? Let's see. I'll come there to say empty is sent. All right. So I'll simply say, okay, we are sending it to the owner like that. Today's date. Okay. It was ADA, I don't know, 456, I don't know. I've forgotten that. But anyway, you may have all the details yourself. Yeah. Maybe you want to put the same reference here. Okay. So now this side, these are the same empties. So we are saying we are sending 1,500. All right. So we have those ones there. Okay. So I'll say add here. And then here, the only thing which I will do, I'll approve it here. Successive. Yeah. So close here. So now let me check now my empties position. Okay. The empties position head office here. Okay. Let's see. I expect it to see 500 there, unless otherwise. You see there is 500 there. Okay. We received 2,000. We sent 1,500. The difference which is remaining is 500. Now, since we know the person who we owe the empties, let's go and check the ledger. Okay. Let's see. Just want to check. So supplier ledger. So, okay. All right. Okay. So, supplier ledger. Okay, this guy here. So, these are suppliers. So, suppliers is creditors, eh? Not debtors. So, preview here. Okay, there we are. So now, this is the supplier ledger. So empty is the sent and the receipt. Okay, we received the value of those empties. Do you know how these are calculated? Multiply 57 kwacha times 2,000. What are you getting there? What are you getting? Let me get a calculator so that we are moving it together. I don't want my followers to lose track. Let's see. I don't want any of my followers in to lose track. Okay, so, okay, 57 times 2,000. Okay, 114,000, which is there as a liability. Now, since we reduce the liability by sending 1,500, so we are saying 1,500 multiplied by 57. So 85,500 debit. So now the difference between the two values is we still have a liability of 28,500. Okay, so maybe you are lost again here. What is the balance which we are supposed to pay that guy? Now that balance should be equal to the 500 which we saw there. So 28,500 divided by 57. What do you get? 500. So this is the ledger balance. So if we don't retain 500, we have to pay the owner 28,500. So that is the way how the empties are accounted for. Very simple and straightforward. We close here. I hope everyone is following here. Yeah. So now the other thing which you should remember is we have changed many things here. The communication to ZRI, we have doubled the communication. We realized to say, okay, what if there is weekend, there are so many customers, so we don't want anyone queuing there, okay? Whatever happens, the communication is now faster to process the receipts. that one, we have changed the old communication where we are initially using the domain functions, but instead of using the domain functions, we had to leverage from AI, okay, and come up with the functions which are faster than domain functions. Thanks to AI, it has really helped us a lot. Okay, so now the other thing which I need to show you before I go is when you are doing the cash books, okay? The cash books has also changed, okay? Or shall I say it has seen some kind of, improvement, okay? So all cash receipts, those which they bank directly in the bank, when you issue a receipt, you need to allocate, okay, where it's supposed to go, right? Uh-huh. Allocation, because those monies which they are depositing in your bank, some of the money may be used for as the pet cash, some will be used maybe to pay electricity bills, okay? At the end of the day, you find that what remains in the bank is just very minimum, okay? While the deposits from receipts, these POS, those might go to the bank intact, okay? There you use the journal. But this, what I'm talking about is the transfers, how to handle the transfers which go direct into the bank. Yes, because we have to issue a receipt to the customer to acknowledge that actually you have received the money. Now, if you don't issue a receipt, you just see how are you going to reconcile after the 2 years or after 3 months? You forget. So a receipt must be issued for whatever money which you are getting through the bank, yeah, or hard cash from the customer. You need to issue a receipt. Without doing that, then it becomes so difficult. So that's why we added here uh, allocate receipts, even payment when you are making payment. All payments 100%. Whenever you see it from the bank, you need to allocate it. I will show you what I mean by allocating. Okay, let's say I know that we don't have any, okay, let's see. We don't have anything for now. So, okay, let's do this. All right. So to allocate, you need to come here. What are you allocating? So if you check here, the same list of accounts are here. This is what I mean by allocating. The moment you push, let's say the amount there, whatever amount, you'll see something. I'll go and process a receipt, then I will show you what to do. But for now, I will leave it that way. This is the allocation page which I was talking about. So for now, let's go and process a receipt. Yeah. Payment is also the same. Whenever you see a payment there, you allocate it because all payment they sit under payment control account. So once they are done, okay. So instead of leaving it in a payment control account, maybe the paying bank is Sanaco, maybe the other one is Indo, whatever bank, you need to allocate to a specific bank where the payment was done. That's what I mean by allocation. Okay, I think it's very clear there. Okay, for the lack of time, let me try to do this. So I'll come here and say, okay, fine. Let me process an invoice under uh, this guy. Okay? Yeah, so that you understand what I'm talking about. So the invoice, okay. Maybe this guy is buying those drinks there for a particular function also. Let's say maybe they are 20. Okay. 20 there, no problem. So now what do we do now? Okay. What is the value? 2000 or 2560. Okay, save. Right? Now, what I was talking about is the communication has improved. We doubled the speed. So if I click there, you count how many seconds it will take for this thing to return the process. So I'll select here. I'll say 1, 2, 3. You see, 3 seconds only. The invoice is returned. While the other time it used to take like 20 seconds, 25 seconds, but now we have only 3 to 2 seconds. The invoice comes back as processed. Okay, so this is the beauty about it. So you can even see your invoice. I think it was this one. Okay, so there is our invoice. Okay. So let me try to make it big so that you're able to see. So you can see the invoice serial number is 120 there, but according to ZRA, they have given us invoice number 384. Okay, so you can see slash 384. So this is 384. It's up to you which one you want to reference it, the serial number or the invoice number there. So let's see reference by the serial number because it's easier to reprint the invoice. So now here, what we'll do is we'll simply come here and say, okay, fine. Oh, sorry. Under that gentleman, let's see how much is he owing there. Okay, so now I'll come here. Okay. I'll come here and select this guy here. I want to see how much is owing there. All right. Yeah. All right. Have you seen that here the ledger is speaking the serial number? Why serial number? Because it's easier to reprint this invoice. If I had to put the ZRI invoice, I would have not managed to reprint it. Now like this, I can simply get 120, go there and make a reprint. I will be able to know where this invoice was done. Okay? It's very simple. Yeah. Because the invoice shows who processed it there, then you'll be able to know to say this guy is found in such a particular table. As simple as that. All right. Yeah. Now I'm saying we want to pass a receipt. This guy has just paid. Okay. So now we need to go and process a receipt, then allocate a receipt. Let's see. So now, what do we do now? Okay. We need to process a receipt. Receipt processing, yes. So here we say, assuming he has paid through the bank, so we'll say bank transfer. Good. Whatever the bank is, maybe this is your bank, I don't know. Yeah. So the question which is here, when did it appear? It's today. So, okay, we have confirmed it today. And how much is the amount? 2560. Yeah. Then invoice number is 80. You can even say serial number. Serial number. Serial number 120. Because it's easier to reprint the invoice that way. Then you simply come here and select this guy here and wait a little bit for the system to do its own thing. So it has finished its own thing there. Okay. Then you simply save. So if I wanted to print the receipt, I'll just come there. Let's see. I think you should be able to, though I've not tested this one, should be able to give me a receipt unless otherwise. Yes, there is the receipt. You see? Yeah. Even the serial number of the invoice is there. Okay. So I can know from the receipt, I can know to say, okay, the serial number for this invoice is this one. I can reprint it. Okay, total amount there, no issue. Everything in quite in monetary form, everything is there, no issue. Okay, so we move on. We close. Then don't forget to post the receipt here or authorize it. Otherwise, you won't see it in your books of accounts. So it is done, posted there. So it's authorized. Then from there, we can simply say exit. Now, if I come and check under this customer ledger and say, okay, let's check if that receipt has cleared that balance, unless I didn't do the right thing. But anyway, these are straightforward. There's nothing to worry. I'm supposed to see a zero there. Okay, as you can see, this is zero now. It has given me the receipt number there and the referencing serial number also for the invoice. So from here again, you are able to know to say, okay, that invoice was paid on this receipt. This is how simple this software is. You know, as you are moving, you are making your account so clean, squeaky clean. Okay? Not this software you get from the streets where you really have to think to say, now this payment, what is it relating to? No, we don't want that. Okay, those days are gone. We cannot move that way. So now, okay, fine. The 2005-60 is confirmed. So now, since it's confirmed, what are we going to do? We are going to say we need to allocate that amount which is in there. Okay, first, before we allocate that one, let's see our trial balance, how it is looking like for today only. Okay, so for today only, let's see the trial balance, how it is looking. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you can see this is our trial balance. Receipt control account, there is because of the receipts, those receipts which we did in the POS, they are coming from here. But what about that receipt? How are we? Let's assume that 2005 East was paid as was channeled to pet cash. What next? That is very tricky now. Let's see. So, okay, okay. So what we can do in that case, we need to come under advanced accounts and go back to the cash book. Then our cash book will say, okay, today to today. Now, at this point, we are dealing with the receipts, not payment. We have not done any payment. You will simply come here and say, okay, fine. You can see that receipt is waiting for us. The one which we did from the receipt side, that side you should remember. It's now asking us to allocate it. Okay, now I'm telling you to say it was used as pet cash. What you need to do, you tick this one here. Then you select here, you say, okay, a cash, yeah. So, okay, so now, which do we have a Zambian kwacha pet cash? Let's see, do we have anything? Okay, fine. Let's say, okay, since we seem not to have, okay, so we can use that one, USD, but I would advise you to say, if you are using pet cash, put your accounts proper. So this one was supposed to be cash at hand, ZMW. So since we don't have at the moment, temporarily I'll put it there. So you see, it has put everything there. Okay, so my job is to simply save it like this. Okay, it's done. Now, let's go and check our trial balance. Let's see what has happened there. Okay, so we come back here and do this and do this, then preview. Let's see. Let's see what has happened now here. Now, have you seen that the pet cash at hand is produced with the 2005-60, subtracting it from receipt control account? Why? Because all the receipts, including the POS, go and sit in the receipt control account. Now, allocation means it's more or less like you are passing a journal, okay, to where the cash was supposed to be. It's just the same as that. But instead of putting in all those journal entries, whatever, we allowed we allow you to simply allocate it so that you can move around accounts like that, those receipts account like that. It's easier. Yeah. At the end of the day, you find that your trial balance is still balancing it to normal. So that is the way how it is. Okay. So at this point, I think I will end here. Yeah. The only thing which I can say, this has been a complex project which we have undertaken. And this is this one, I can bet with you, you will not find it anywhere here in Zambia. This is the only thing this is the only place where you can find this thing which handles empties accounting in the proper accounting software. Some of these softwares you find that they have to put the empties ledger where in Excel. As with this one, you don't need Excel. For what? No need. Okay? Some you find that even house sales, they write on a piece of paper or in a book. No. After a book, a very clever person, they can even come and grab or destroy that book. What are you going to do? That's the end of it. With this one, whether the laptop is stolen, you still have your transaction seated hidden somewhere. Your database is not on the laptop, it's in cloud. So there is no way you can lose anything. For now, I'll say goodbye for now. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Easter holiday. Okay. Many, many more return.